military leader. We cannot identify specific victory that earned his name, but he was a leper. Praise the living God. As we just read from our Bible, Naaman was a commander, a great man, and he was a leper, cure for leprosy. Just like there is no earthly cure for sin. And all of these great things that were said about Naaman did not heal him, did not save him or heal him. And praise God. The Bible is telling us this morning that all those things, they don't mean anything to God. What God wants from us is our heart. Most of the time we have missed it. We thought that when we have everything, life is okay. But there's something that we still like in our life. Like Naaman, who was a great man, who was in high favor with his master, but yet he was a leper. Despite all the war that he went and fought and won, he was still a leper. What is that thing that is in your life that we are still struggling with? I pray that the good Lord will give us understanding to know where we belong to. Praise the living God. The young Israelite was a slave. She was a faithful witness of God in a faraway country. This girl was a slave, and she was a faithful witness of God in a faraway country. She went to the country of Syria, to the place that she don't know, but she was where we find ourselves. Our children in tertiary institution. Mother, maybe you tell your wife that they are traveling to Abuja, that they send you from your office for official work. Meanwhile, be faithful. The wonderful things God have done through his prophets. But this slave girl did not forget the miracle of God when she was in a foreign land. She was in the midst of people that serve adults. She did not forget the miracle of God when she was in Israel. Many of us will forget the miracle of God that he have done through his prophets, and we are chasing after shadows. She hold to God. She hold to what she hold to what she had been hearing from the man of God, the prophet of God, Prophet Elisha, when she was in Samaria, when she was in Israel. How many of us that will still hold to our words of our pastors, the men of God? It's not that we visit men of God from one church to the other. It's what that is you have in your heart that will deliver you. You may go to that church. After you left, you come back and continue with your normal life. You live maybe anyhow life. You didn't live a righteous life. Later on, if something happened to you, you will go back. You can't be going back to such. You go back to that place as if there's somebody that is sick. You go to the hospital and see a doctor. This girl, she hold fast to what she received. Praise the living God. It would have been very easy for her to be bitter and angry towards God for allowing her to be taken captive away from her land and her family. But she returned her testimony. She know that God is a true God. He can deliver her from these people that took her. But she was not angry to God. She hold to her. She returned her testimony. Most of the time when we are facing challenges, we forget the good things that God have done to us. And we think that if I'm serving God, why would I be facing such things? That's why the song that was just the song for Simon, I love you so much. It pays to serve Jesus. It will cause you pains from your body to your bones. Because there's no how you serve God in this world, you will not face challenges. Be ready to stand firm, like this small girl. The thing she did not understand, she left it in the hands of God. She did not understand. She left it in the hands of God. What are those challenges that we are facing in our homes, in our marriages, with our children? Some of our challenges, we cannot carry them. It's left for us to leave it to God. Because we always think that our God is a big God. He is large. For you, remember the Lord will help us. Whatsoever we are facing in our lives, we should leave it in the hands of God. Because when we think, we talk, it cannot solve the problem. We should just leave it to God and surrender everything to Him. And He will be a solution to every challenges that we are facing. This maid was a prominent figure in history. How many of you remain faithful and serve God? This girl remained faithful to God in a foreign land. She became a means of salvation to her master. What an example. How many of us will remain faithful to serve God? This girl she remained faithful to serve God when she found herself in a foreign land. And she became a means of salvation to her master. It's led to God, like this small girl. She remained faithful to God, to serve God, and she became a means of salvation to her master. She has a forgiving spirit. Because where she was taken to, they are not her people, they are not her tribe. But she has a forgiving spirit. She was able to forgive them and tell her mistress where her husband can be cured. Many of us will find it very difficult to forgive. There's a song we always sing. I surrender all to you. Everything I give to you. We hold you nothing. Praise the Lord. That many of us were holding grudges in our mind. Yet we are Christian. We are Christian. I pray that the good Lord will help us to learn from this girl. She has a forgiving spirit. Can you boast of your children like this small girl? Can you boast of your children? Some of our children are tertiary